Hello, custom car enthusiasts, and welcome back to Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. So we need to get up another level here, so let's see what cars we have on offer that we could work on. This one's just got some brake issues there on a Mazda RX-7, Dodge Ram that needs some body parts, Bandit that's got some gearbox issues it looks like. Find and fix any running gear problems, cars hard to control, knocking sound coming from suspension, brake system needs fixing, paired damaged body panels. Okay, this one looks like it's gonna be a long one here to do, but it's a different kind of vehicle, so let's get it in. Alright, so we can't start the engine. We can see into the people's house, basically. Can't enter that way. Alright. We got a shower back there. Why is the prison bars on this window here? Alright, well, let's go ahead and move it over to the lift, because we're gonna have to deal with the engine first. Alright, so we'll worry about the engine and gearbox first, I think. Can I lift it even? Yes, through magic, my lift is able to lift this vehicle. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and take that drive shaft off. World's longest drive shaft. There we go. And then, let's see here. Get this gearbox off here. Definitely going to try to take this engine out of this vehicle, because I think that'll be the easiest way to handle it. I'm assuming this is how I am supposed to access the engine. Alright, so we got the manifold off of that side. Get the manifold off of this side. Alright. Now if we can, let's go ahead and bring the engine crane over. You know, I'm actually thinking I might move it to lift B, because right now it's, well, we'll see. Alright, so gotta drain the oil. Forgot about that. Got everything else disconnected, I think, but definitely need the oil drained. Let's go ahead and use that. Oh, I'm struggling with the buttons today. Let's try this again. There we go. It's early in the morning, and evidently I am still only half awake. Alright, so that's out of the way now. Let's get back out from under it. Lower this down. pulled the engine out. Let's move this back to where it belongs. Yeah, let's close this. And I'm thinking, let's put it over on that lift. That way it's sort of out of my way some. Alright, let's start at the back here. Let's get the clutch and such off of here. A unique engine, but I guess for something as big as this vehicle is, you'd have to have a decent sized engine just to be able to power it. We're just going to pull everything off of here, and then we will see what we can use, what we can fix, and what we just have to replace. Because this should eliminate pretty much all the issues they were having as far as the engine. Then we just have the running gear left and the gearbox, which we've already pulled off anyways, so should be simple enough. Alright. And as I do with all my engine rebuilds, we're going to put this back to 100%. So even the ones that are just slightly worn are either getting repaired or tossed. I hope for those of you who are in the United States watching that you're having a happy 4th of July week here. I actually have the 4th off this year, so I'm looking forward to actually getting to enjoy it with my wife. Probably will end up staying home, so that way our dogs won't get too freaked out by the fireworks and such. But yeah, it should be just sort of a nice, relaxing time. Normally I work the 4th, so it's going to be nice this way. I do have quite a few videos coming out on the channel that I know about already. I'm continuing to work on the Room series. Right now I actually just, with the summer sale that's going on, purchased the Room 4. So I will do the Room 1 through 4 all back to back on the one day. I have to say, as I've gotten further into the series, the games are getting more complex there, definitely. Very interesting. But we'll have to see how this new one will be compared to the others. And I really have found as of late that I'm becoming more and more interested in the simulation type games. There's something about them that I'm just enjoying more than the horror games and stuff that I originally played on the channel. So things like Dead by Daylight, even though there's an event going on for the anniversary right now, I just haven't had an interest in it. And it's nothing really against the game, it's just really sort of my interest in games has changed some, I think. So, playing games that are fun for me, and I have to say, there are a lot of great simulators out right now. I did actually pick up another simulator during the summer sale here as well, and so that'll probably come to the channel on the day of the week that right now is the Rooms day of the week, once the Room series is entirely done. But then I've got other interesting games like Honey, I Joined a Cult that are going to be coming to the channel. That one's sort of more of a builder strategy type game, in which in that particular one, you take over a cult and have to grow your compound and your followers and everything of that nature. It's quite a bit of fun. It's quirky and entertaining. So hopefully that'll be enjoyable for people as well. I am still going through the process of somewhat remodeling the channel. I started the second channel there, Ray's Games No Commentary, to put the videos over that I needed to take off this channel as far as YouTube was concerned. So I've been moving those over a little bit at a time. It is an effort to do so, and part of it is the fact that it's just not fun. I mean, normally when I make videos, I will publish them, or at least schedule them for publication fairly shortly after I make them. So that way it's sort of a balancing of enjoying the game versus putting in the effort of uploading videos. But with moving ones over to the other channel, it really has just been video after video moving over with none of the fun of actually creating the videos. So I do sort of pause at points in time. I'll do maybe 15 in a week that I'll move over. So there are still quite a few more that are going to come off this channel, particularly the ones that come to mind are the Borderlands series with my friend Dazani. We're still adding to that series. There will be plenty more videos, but they're all going to come out on the other channel. That way I don't have any of the issues with reused content coming up on this channel. Alright, so we got everything there. This vehicle is ridiculous, just trying to get around it. So, I mean, we have a very good repair chance with the 99%. So, hopefully, for the most part, we are actually saving most of these parts, which will save us a good amount of money. Well, save the customer a good amount of money. Alright, so let's see here. We're going to sort them by name. And then, as is normal, I will be right back once I have purchased all the parts that we need. Alright, I believe we have everything we need now, so let's go ahead and start rebuilding this engine. So as always, I like to get the engine block there, then we'll get the pistons in. Because that way I can just be done with this area, get the crankshaft in, get the camshaft in. All the pistons had to be replaced, so that was a decent amount. Really, it was the things that were the most damaged, it seemed like, were the pistons and the valves. Because all the valve rods had to be replaced as well. So, engine had been worn hard, but sort of not surprising with a vehicle like this. You're not going to worry about servicing it nearly as much as you would your standard daily driver, I would think. And so it could get forgotten at points. But we'll get her taken care of here, so at least the engine-wise, it'll be good to go. There's a part of me that wants to drive this on the test track just to have the experience of driving this boat. But we'll see. Not sure how I'm going to do that. Alright, now we can put on the oil pan. Then we can turn the engine right side up. There we go. Let's get the flywheel in place along with the clutch and clutch plate. There we go. Alright, power steering pump. Taken care of. the alternator. That's in place. Fuel filter. Get the cam gear in. Now we can get the timing chain on. And probably this timing cover. There we go. Perfect. Alright, with all the pulleys in place, we can get the belt rerun here. So that way the front of the engine's taken care of. Now I'll get the distributor in. Alright, now let's get to the engine heads. Hadn't even needed to take off those. I did when we were pulling out, but either way, I guess it's alright. Yeah, I replaced all the push rods as well as the caps. That side's done. All the little details here, but it is worth it. As I said, I think this will cover most of the problems that this vehicle had. Then we just got to worry about a few running gear issues. Get the ignition coil B in place. Get the spark plugs put in, that way we can get the coil wires on. Sort of funny seeing that rusty wreck in the background while I've got this shiny new engine here. But, you know, the engine is the most important part, so might as well spend the money on it. Alright, that engine is completely rebuilt, I believe. Yeah, all we've got. Oh, I didn't put this cover on for some reason. Huh, odd. That's why I always go in and check to make sure I've got all the parts in place. Yep, those parts will go on underneath. Let's go ahead and move the vehicle back to lifter A. Let's go get the crane, put it on lifter A here. Let's get the engine. Get it. Gonna have to go around this monster of a vehicle. There we go. Crane's been giving me problems here, but I think it's simply because of the size of the vehicle I'm working on. Yeah, like I'm clicking on the crane, but it's not recognizing it. Come on, I just want to move the crane back. Alright, never mind. We'll leave. Now it wants to move it back. Alright, well let's see here. As I said, this should have taken care of most of the problems. Spark plugs are done. Lack of engine power. Oh, so I do have something else. Might be the battery. Running gear still needs to be taken care of. Gearbox needs to be replaced still. Alright, so let's lift it up and see about the lack of power. I'm guessing it's got to be the battery or something. Which, speaking of, where is the battery on this thing? Let's go with the electronic meter here and see. Should tell me if the battery's the problem. Battery's at 66%. So I'm guessing that's what they're saying as far as the engine power? No, it's not. Huh. Well, this engine overall should test fine. The fuel pump. Is that what it was? Yep, that's what it was. Alright. So, since we got it up in the air rate, let's go ahead and start disassembling the running gear. Because that is going to be the next step here. We're going to take it all apart here. Because for a vehicle of this size, you need to make sure that it's stable. Otherwise somebody could get seriously injured, and I don't want that on my head. Hopefully a decent amount of these pieces can be fixed. This is going to be a longer episode by the time I'm done with all this, but you know what? It'll be worth it. Now I'm going to leave some of these parts like this. Probably can be left perfectly fine. Let's just go ahead and inspect. Yeah, that's fine. That's not. Anything I take off, though, we're going to go ahead and fix up as best we can. You know what? Since we're taking stuff off and I'm going to repair stuff anyways, let's just take it off. I want this car to be nice. other than the body panels and stuff, which I really can't deal with right now. So, I mean, I could replace them entirely, but that's not what the customer asked me to do. And that would be an extraordinary expense on a vehicle of this size, I'm guessing. Gotta replace all these rubber bushings anyways. I'm sure they're gonna be part of the issue. Alright. I'm really just enjoying tearing into this car, and there's a part of me that's fighting the urge to take off things like the exhaust and such that really has no need to come off, but it's like I could make it that little bit better. So I'm just going to do it to the engine and running gear and then hold my desire to pull everything else off. Or as best I can. Alright, fuel tank. There's that fuel filter we needed out. Get that brake drum off, the brake shoes. All that comes off. The wheel hub, the knuckle, shock absorber, the U-bolts. Sort of making it move my camera around for me instead of having to move around to get to different parts. Alright, so we've got all of that off. Let's go over here, see what we can fix. Actually, before we do, I'm even going to improve the rims if I can, which means I need to take those off. And I need to go ahead and separate these as well. Now, I don't think that the wheels actually needed this, but since I'm taking them off anyways, I might as well see if I can repair them the slight amount. Same with like this shock, looked like it was good, but you know what? If we're here, I gotta do this other one anyways because it evidently was not good. Then I might as well. Yes, it's costing me money I don't need to spend, but I care about that craftsmanship. Alright, those are the only ones for that. And we got one more tire to separate. Alright, now let's go ahead over to the bench here and see what we can fix up. Alright. Seems like we had some decent success on things. We were able to repair all the rims, which is perfect. So we've got everything sorted by name. I'm going to go ahead in and purchase the things we need. I'm not going to replace the tires because they're still decent where they are. So we'll leave those, but I'm going to replace the things otherwise that need to be replaced. So I'll be back in a few minutes again. Alright, we got everything back together here. So now we've just got to join the parts up. Wasn't as much to buy because we were able to reuse quite a few of the pieces. As I said, I am keeping the tires because that's a major expense, and it's not something they asked for, so I'm not going to get them a bill for that. Tires are still okay, so we'll just go ahead and use them as they are. We were able to repair the rims for them for nice and cheap though, so I feel good about doing that for them. As I said, I always want to provide my customers with good quality service at a reasonable price. Alright, while we're waiting on that last one, let's go ahead in here and put in the fuel pump that I purchased. So that way that's taken care of. Make sure, yep, we got the one last one here to do. I'm curious to see. These wheels are all the same size? Yeah, they are. Alright, so overall they're in good shape. Just gotta get this one done. There we go, we take it. Now we can start rebuilding everything. So this thing isn't going to win any beauty prizes, but you know what? It's going to be a solid running vehicle. It's got a fully rebuilt engine, and it's going to have fully rebuilt running gear to it. So, as far as getting you out on the road and stuff, the owner should feel pretty darn good about it. Alright, get that in place. Get the other small rubber bushing in place. Now get the leaf spring plate and bolts in place. Alright, so the back end is done. Head up to the front end here. Always want to get the bushings in place because those are one of those things I always seem to overlook when I first started playing this game, and I've learned from it. Don't want to make that mistake again. So, want to get the bushings in right away so that they don't get forgotten. Alright, that's all connected. Get the inner tie rod on. Gotta get the steering rack in place. And there's the outer tie rod. Brake disc back in place, the pads, the caliper itself. Then we can call this side good. Alright. Couldn't get it to go outwards there. Alright. Get that in place. The outer tie rod. Upper suspension arm. Alright, that's in place. There we go with that. Tire goes on. And I believe the only thing we have left to do is the gearbox. Get the starter attached to it. And then the drive shaft. Alright, that's everything I had on me. Let's take a look here. There is one thing we haven't done though. I'm wondering if you've realized what it is I haven't done yet. I have kept it in mind, I just wanted to get the other stuff done first. We gotta go over to the engine here, and we gotta fill it up with oil. There we go. Alright, so the car is ready to go out the door, or the vehicle is ready to go out the door. But you know what? I'm going to move it over to the test pad. I'm not going to take it outside, but I am curious to drive it. So let's see how it is on the test pad. This should be entertaining. Got a cup holder over there. Cup holders in the center. There, cup holder there. I feel like I'm so far from the front end here. Brakes are nice and good though. I mean, this test should go swimmingly. So, not too worried about it. Engine sounds good overall. I really don't think I would want to drive one of these though. I mean, this is just too big. It just even feels big inside of it here. Alright, so the brake servo is now perfect, but everything else is great. And with that, we will go ahead and get rid of it. Was a nice amount of money, and we're very close to being at the next level so that we can do the next story mission. But we will save that for next week. If you enjoyed what I did this week though, please go ahead and click that like button. If you've not already, please subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon, so that you're aware when I produce new videos in the future. Thank you, and I hope to see you all again for more Car Mechanic Simulator 2018.